Hello, dear ones. Welcome back to the Indigo Rose Lounge. And so today, I thought we'd take a big step. I would just give you a little glimpse into the life of living with fairies. So, my verbiage is I call them fairies. It's souls in the next world, people who have passed on. They're not dead because they're very much alive and they're just behind a veil. So, if this world is defined by space and time or human experience, the next world is within this world, just separated by a veil. So those in the next world go with us wherever we go. They look out for us. They try to speak to us. Sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't. And they try to take care of us. My understanding is that they get to hang around with us if they have left some damage in their line and their ancestral line. They try to heal that damage through us. And if they have unlearned lessons, then vicariously through us, they get to stick around to learn the lessons who didn't learn in life. And we can speak to them. We can, if you have tools like Reiki, you can send them Reiki, you can pray for them, you can communicate with them. And a lot about that is about your ability to receive information and not mess it up. The other day, I had this beautiful experience. I was sitting on the patio as we do in the early morning, watch the sunrise. And it was a light moment of joy and love and it was happy. And in that moment, my mother, who, not my physical mother, it's complicated. She's not my biological mother, but my spiritual mother. She is in the next world, and she came to me full of such joy and bliss and glee that I burst out laughing involuntarily. It was just her experience was so oh, delighted and yay. And they are unique moments when you get to connect in that way. And the reason they're unique is because we only really get to have such a clear connection when we ourselves are in the elevations of joy and bliss and glee and love. So when you're in love, when you sit and conjure for yourself all the things you love and you stay in love, when you're in a loving frequency, you are so much closer to them and you can have a clearer connection with them. Now, that day when I had that connection, I was thinking of love and experiencing love and sitting in love. And she came through really, really clearly and just shared with me her joy and her bliss and her wonder and her delight. And it spilled over. I felt infected by it. And it was joyous. And we can have those experiences with those we love on that side, but never from a place of apathy, depression, sadness, which is why it amplifies the grieving process. When we miss somebody, we miss their physical form, we miss the idea of ever being able to see their face again or touch their hand, and we're in sadness and grief on that, then we're right at the wrong end of the scale. We'll never hear them from there. We have to get ourselves way up into love and joy and bliss, and in that frequency, they're just over the hill. They're just around the corner from there, and we can connect with them there. So in your days, if there are people you love, animals you love, beings you love that are that side, just know that the higher your frequency, the more loving, joyous, peaceful you're feeling, the better the ability or the opportunity will be to connect with them. Yeah. So we we can live our days with our fairies. I'm in constant communication with mine. Do you know that five-sensed individuals don't have an internal dialogue? It's something that was baffling for me to find out. So the five-sensed in general don't have an internal dialogue. They don't have a process in their minds that they don't talk to themselves, you know? And so that's how you can, one of the ways you can know that your sixth sense is you have an internal dialogue. Well, just as that internal dialogue would be between you and you, opening the door of that internal dialogue can also be in between you and your fairies. I have one fairy who is male, or he was in life male, and he was a chef, and he was from Belgium, and he's very kind of French Belgium-ish, and he has amazing, amazing cooking skills that I get to harness in my day. So when I'm cooking, I listen to him for his advice, and he tells me what to put in the food. And he is very pedantic. He's very precise. He knows exactly what he wants, and uh, and I follow his guidance and end up creating these superb dishes that have been I would never have come up with myself. And so when someone asks me, how do you know when it's a fairy and when it's just your own imagination? Well, I don't have the baseline information. I call him Dieter. I know it's not his name, but I don't have the information to even subconsciously, I don't have the information on the combination of tastes and flavors and things that he has. So when I know what goes with what things cooking wise, that's him, it's not me. And I know that. So I'm not trying to prove it to anybody. I don't need to. I just know when when I'm accessing a memory and when I have absolutely no foundation for knowing the answer to this question. So when he and I first started out, I started tentatively listening to him. Okay, you think I should? Okay, I'll put that. You think more salt? Okay, I'll go with that. And so I started tentatively listening and following his guidance. And then I became more and more confident in his knowledge. And so we could do that. You normally attract fairies who are interested or knowledgeable in the area that you are focused in. So if there's anything that you are doing, if you've taken up crocheting as a hobby, likelihood is you'll attract either an ancestor or a fairy somewhere that knows what they're doing in that realm. And you can be open to their guidance. Okay? Fairies will always feel loving. They will always feel joyful or informative. They will never encourage negative behavior, and they will never make you feel bad. If it's any one of those, then you're tuned into something else, not your fairies. Fairies always give good advice. They always feel good, and you can only ever access them when you're anywhere from neutral up. So, so your fairies will give you suggestions, and you can tentatively start applying and see. Test them, you know, test them, make it a game, and start to work with them, and they will guide you to good and delightful things. They will give you insight and deliver information that you need to be ready to receive. So information, remember, as much as it can be there out in the world, you have to have the capacity and willingness to receive the information they're giving you. So there we go. Day in the life of a clairvoyant. working with fairies. Love, always.